What's going on, guys? My name is MrHurriicane, and today I finally announced the team that I'll be playing with in my Madden 15 franchise. Who is it going to be? That's the question I've been asked a ton over the past couple weeks, and especially now that Madden 15 is actually out. Everybody wants to know who's my franchise team this year. This will be my fourth major franchise series, the first of course being on Madden 12 with my favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings. The second time around it was the Oakland Raiders in Madden 13, and last year on Madden 25, the St. Louis Rams. So now, who will it be in my fourth installment of my Madden franchise series? This has probably been the year where I've put the most thought into the team I'm going to play as, and I've debated it even up to this past week. I keep trying to convince myself if I'm making the right decision or not, because it is a big decision. I mean, it's going to be a year worth of videos, and I want to do this right, and I want to do something that's going to be fun for me to play for many seasons and fun for you guys to watch. So I have put a ton of thought into this. I've talked to many friends about possible teams and even about the team that I have actually selected. They like my decision. I'm looking forward to see what you guys think. But this is not just as simple as taking a team that has a poor record or needs a quarterback or isn't a playoff team. There's a lot I look into when it comes to my franchise team, and I think that I've been more critical this year than ever. And I've kind of thought about the teams that I've had in the past, what made them fun, what wasn't as much fun. And looking back to last year with the Rams, I don't regret the choice at all. I liked playing as the Rams, but one of the things that was a little disappointing to me was that my draft picks did not have a big impact, and part of that may have to do with my draft classes, but also had to do with the fact that the Rams were a very, very young team with a lot of young talent. My first draft, I had 2 first-round picks, and then I had some cap room to burn, so I ended up building a lot through free agency and then growing the younger talent already on the roster. And so at the top of my list this year was that I wanted a team where my draft picks would matter early, they would potentially start in their rookie year or their second year of their career. And so I looked at teams and I looked at, okay, what holes do they currently have? Where are their oldest players? Where are holes going to be in 2 to 3 years? And how's the contract situation looking? And I believe that I have picked the top team that fits the blueprint of what I wanted this year. There's of course more that goes into it. I look at every division and see what's going to be the most competitive. I look at the pieces already in place and see the players that I could have fun with. And obviously began the series with Tavon Austin with the Rams, and he's been an extremely fun player the entire way through the series. So with that, guys, I believe I am ready to share with you my Madden 15 franchise team, and once I reveal it, I'll be explaining why I picked this exact team and what you can probably expect from this franchise. And I'm looking forward to your responses. Let me know what you think of this team in the comment section. I want your thoughts down below. But here it is, my Madden 15 franchise team. The Carolina Panthers are my Madden 15 franchise team, and we're going to have some fun this year. Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, a strong front 7. Now, this is going to be a team that I think shocks most of everybody watching this video. So that's why I'm going to be explaining this decision for those of you that have your jaw on the floor right now. Let me tell you why I'm excited to begin this franchise. I know the Panthers were 12-4 last year. They won the NFC South. They were the 2 seed in the NFC, and they lost in the divisional round of the playoffs. But why would I pick a team that is coming off of a 12-4 season, a playoff run, and has some pretty solid pieces in place? Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, that whole front 7 is pretty much rock solid. Why would I pick the Panthers? When I first began to think about what team I was going to use, this wasn't one of the ones I was considering, but throughout the offseason, they became a team that I thought would be a lot of fun to play as. And since their last game, which was January in the playoffs, they've lost 7 starters to either retirement or through free agency. And it's not the most critical 7. I mean, they did lose Jordan Gross, Captain Munnerlyn, Steve Smith, of course, and a handful of other players. But their core is still there. That front 7 is intact. They franchise tag Greg Hardy, and they still have Cam Newton, obviously. But let's not look too much into last year's record and success. In the NFC, 11 wins may only get you a wildcard spot. It's a very competitive conference, and the NFC South can be a very competitive division. Last year was a bit of a down year as the Falcons were 4-12 and the Buccaneers didn't live up to many people's expectations, But both those teams appear to be stronger, and I expect the division to be very, very competitive in this series. And Madden 15 itself is a more difficult game than Madden 25 on last gen especially. I think they've tightened up a lot of stuff with zone coverage, and the throwing windows aren't as wide open. I'm thinking it's going to be a very competitive series, and I hope that it's going to be a lot more challenging. And I think that I have picked a good spot to play in. The Panthers against the Buccaneers, Falcons, and Saints. And so we know the NFC is competitive, so is the division. Let's dig more into this roster now. As I mentioned previously, this team is now without 7 starters that started in their last game against San Francisco in the playoffs, so there's a lot of new faces at a few positions. Byron Bell has now moved to left tackle, Nate Chandler's at right tackle, rookie Trey Turner looks to be in line for a starting spot. The secondary is pretty new with Mike Mitchell and Captain Munnerlyn leaving, so you have Roman, Harper, Thomas, Deku, Antoine Cason appears to be the top corner on the roster. And then, of course, a wide receiver. It's basically a brand new unit with rookie Kelvin Benjamin and veterans JERRICHO, COTCHERY, and Jason Avant. And those are just new faces on this team. When you look at the existing roster, what they already had, you spot some other potential areas of concern in the next couple of years, like at running back, where DeAngelo Williams is 31 years old and his backup Jonathan Stewart has had trouble with injuries the past couple of years. On defense, Thomas Davis has battled back from 3 ACL surgeries and had a great season last year, but he's still a 31-year-old outside linebacker, so you have to worry about his eventual replacement. And when you look at the depth on this team, I'm not a big fan of a lot of their backups, so I think I'll be getting a lot of potential starters and guys who will develop for a while and be role players. On the defensive line, Greg Hardy is playing under the franchise tag this year, but do you dare re-sign him after this season when Luke Kuechly and Cam Newton are still on the rookie deals and you already have a bunch of money tied up into Charles Johnson? As you can see, there will be a lot of team building to do with this team despite the fact that they have some pretty solid young talent. I get to build around Cam Newton, Kelvin Benjamin, Star Lotulelei, K'Wan Short, Luke Kuechly. I like a lot of players on this team, which is another reason why I picked them. I want to play with Cam and Mike Tolbert. Don't forget about Tolbert, okay? We get the Bulldozer on this team. Luke Kuechly is one of my favorite linebackers. I like this roster, but I think I can make it even better and get this to be a very fun franchise team to both play with and for you guys to watch episodes of. And I hope that if you were skeptical at first after hearing the Panthers, that I'm starting to sway you and that you're thinking that this is going to be a fun series, because I do believe it will be. And my 3 favorite position groups, which I shared on stream last night as a little hint: secondary, receiver, and running backs. I love drafting those 3 position groups, and that's exactly what I get to do with the Panthers. They have a lot of guys on 1-year deals. I started up a franchise with them. I cut the roster down to 53 guys just to test it out. There were still, I think, between 15 and 20 guys on the last year of their deal. And then, you know, my eyes light up when I see that, and I can bring in a bunch of backups and potential starters. So I believe there's going to be a lot of chances to team build and put some pieces around Cam, Luke, Star, and Greg Olsen too. I haven't mentioned him yet. He's going to be one of the main targets in the passing game, definitely. But that is it, guys. The Carolina Panthers are my team in Madden 15, and I am looking forward to this comment section. I'm honestly not sure what to expect. When people try to guess who it is and they tweet at me or they message me on stream or in a comment section somewhere, it's typically, you know, one of the teams I picked in the top 10 last year. And I very rarely see someone guess the Panthers, but I think it's a team that makes a lot of sense. It's a team that's never won the Super Bowl, a team in a very tough division in the NFC. This won't be a walk in the park just because I have Cam, Luke, Star, and some solid pieces to work around. It's going to be competitive, it's going to be challenging, and I think it's going to be a very, very fun franchise. Compare this to the team I picked first, the Minnesota Vikings. I began that team. They had Adrian Peterson, Percy Harvin, Jared Allen, Kevin Williams. That was a solid team. Antoine Winfield. And that was still a very competitive series. And it's all about finding a good slider set and being in a good situation, like a competitive division, which I have with the Panthers. And I'll be working to find a slider set now over the next couple weeks probably. I may not finish the Rams franchise in the next couple weeks, but I still will start the Panthers franchise when it is ready to start. I won't delay it because of the Rams. I'm going to wrap that one up as we're going to continue on with that one. but I'm not going to delay the Panthers franchise any longer than I have to. I'm going to find some sliders, get the rosters, and we're going to get going. It's the Panthers in Madden 15. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and leave a like if you are excited. I want to see how many likes we can get on here and see how many people are hyped up for this new franchise, even if it's a team that caught you off guard. I bet it did catch you off guard. I know it had to. Anyway, guys, thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe if you have not already, and you want to see the Carolina Panthers franchise. That'll kick off hopefully here in the next couple weeks. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.